Good morning. I think we're going live. Good morning, everyone. Happy to see, whoops, happy to see that anyone's joining me live. I will be excited. It's boring when I'm on my own, here. So hopefully somebody can come through this morning and share this morning with me, my little chat. So if you're here, if you're live, if you can hear me, if you can see me, please just let me know. So I feel like I did brush my hair, people, but it feels like I didn't. But it's still early in the morning for me. But I'm here, and I promise you I've brushed my teeth and I've brushed my hair, even though it doesn't look like it. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. I'm going to get stuck into my oil of choice today, which is actually a blend. Today it's a blend of oils by the company doTERRA, which I really like, and I buy a lot of my products through doTERRA. And it's called the Calmer blend. So let's see if you can see it, the Calmer blend. And what I really like about this is because it's a blend, it means it's several oils mixed together, or a couple of oils mixed together, and it comes in a handy roller bottle, and it's already got in a base of fractionated coconut oil, which means it's a very non-greasy version of coconut oil, and you can put it straight onto your skin, and it's already diluted into the fractionated coconut oil, so there's no need to re-dilute it. And I find I love to just rub it on my hands or on the soles of my feet. It's a beautiful blend of, it's got lavender, Buddha wood, cananga, Roman chamomile. Let's see if there's, what's their name, anyone else? No, I think that's it. Lavender, cananga, Buddha wood, and Roman chamomile. Those are the four in there. And it's got a beautiful sort of floral note to it. A sweet floral note, but also a bit woody, a soft woody aroma to it. And it's very, very gentle. It's actually part of the kids range in doTERRA. So it's a very, very gentle oil and beautifully calming. It's really, for me, it's a very soft calming oil. It's not a deep grounding oil. It's a very soft, gentle, calming oil. And as I say, I really enjoy it because I can just put it straight onto my hand. And what I often do is when I'm offering it to a dog, I will just put a few drops like this, roll a little bit on my hand, and just offer the back of my hand for the dog to smell. And they love to lick the oil off here. So they really either take a nice big sniff, or they may even lick the oil off my hand. And I know that it's diluted and that it's safe for them to do so. So that's a lovely one, doTERRA's Calmer blend, if anybody's interested. So our topic today, I see a little thumbs up. So if anybody could put in the comments, if you're in YouTube with me, I'd love you to type in the comments, please, that all is okay, that you can hear me and see me, just a little yes, then I know that we're good to go. So just waiting for anything to come through there. So our theme for today is the connection. I'm just going to check on my phone to see if I can see anybody in the group. Because I did post the link in the Pause Reflect group. Okay, so it's there. Good. All right. So people know it's there, and I've got one. I can see that somebody's here. All right. So as I said, the theme today is about calming signals in dogs and how this relates to the vagus nerve and the polyvagal theory that I often talk about, and in particular self-regulation for dogs. So many of you who are listening to this will already know about calming signals, but I'll just mention briefly about them. So calming signals the term was coined by Turid Rugaas, who's a Norwegian dog trainer. of many, many years, extremely experienced woman who also did her early work with wolves. And she studied a lot to do with their body language and signals, how they communicate with each other. And she's got a brilliant book called On Talking Terms with Dogs. And it really outlines the principles and the concept behind calming signals, as well as some of the most common calming signals you will find in that book illustrated, which is really good. So if you don't know anything about calming signals, I do recommend that book. I also have some videos from some of my puppy courses and other videos on calming signals. So if you would like to know more on calming signals and see some videos or some actual footage of dogs showing calming signals, then please reach out to me and I will point you in the right direction. So calming signals, as I say, by Turid Rugas, this term, and she used the term calming signals because she saw in many instances it was to calm the situation, calm the other animal in communication. So a little bit like appeasement. So let's just look at some of the basic ones. Some of the basic ones are lip licks that dogs do, sort of licking their lips or touching a nose flick, as it's sometimes called. They sometimes just flick over their nose with their tongue. I can't get that far. They flick their nose over their tongue. They might gently blink their eyes. They'll look away, a gaze that looks away from whoever's in front of them, whether it's a dog or a person, sort of a look away, or they might turn their whole body away. So that's some of them. Another one is a yawn, a big, so your dog would yawn in a context where they're not normally tired. So it's not like they've just woken up. They may be out on a walk and see another dog and start to yawn, for instance. So she recognized these some of these signals, these body language signals that dogs use within their family group, so within their pack, if they were wolves or wild dogs living, or street dogs, how they communicate with each other. And the main functions of these was to be able to, for group cooperation, to be able to cooperate, live in harmony with each other. So a lot of the time it was to avoid conflict and to appease another animal, to show that they meant no harm or no danger. And this is why Turid, as I said, called them calming signals, because it was mainly used as a function to keep the peace and to calm everything down within the group. It's also shown between separate, strange dogs. So if you just one dog meets another and haven't met them before, they will also use these signals to each other to show their intent that they don't mean harm, or to show the intent that they're friendly, or to show the intent that they don't want any contact with that other dog. And they also do it to us, to people. So living in in our human environment, dogs use these same signals towards us. Many people know about these signals and they are aware of them, and they understand what the dog is trying to say with that. But many people don't, because these signs are really, really subtle. They're not the loud, barky, lungy, loud signs that dogs use when they're in their reactive state. So that means when the stress response is turned on. A lot of the time they're very, very subtle, and we miss them. Another reason we often miss them is because we're often standing next to our dog and we're not seeing them from the front. And there's those loads of little, as I said, the blinking eyes, the little head turn, the lip lick. We often don't see that because we're standing next to them or behind them. But we can notice it perhaps in other dogs that do that. So this is all important for us to understand our dogs, to understand what they're trying to communicate. And as I say, sometimes if we understand it, we can reciprocate. So say, all right, I can see that you are showing me these signals. What does it mean? Does it mean you're trying to appease me? Does it mean that I've done something, I'm too close to you, and you don't feel comfortable in that space? So these, as I say, these are communication signals which we can learn, and we can reciprocate by saying, okay, I understand you, and then taking action. We we often hear the same signals, the same body language signals being described as stress signals. All right. So very often the same what Turid termed calming signals, many trainers or people will use in the term of stress signals. My dog is showing stress when they lip their lick, when they yawn, when they stretch, when they blink, look away. They are showing stress, which in some ways I agree with, because what the dog is, if the dog was comfortable, they wouldn't need to show these communications to the other one. Not all of them. Some of them are just general good communication, good social skills between dogs and people. But some of them are because the dog is moving, and I'm saying moving, I'm not saying fully stressed, I'm saying moving into a stressed state. And what I've noticed is that there is a correlation from what I've learned about the polyvagal theory and about the vagus nerve, as it were, the correlation between these signals, if we go one layer deeper. So if it was to be that the stress signal, if it is a signal that's showing the dog is in stress, that would mean that their sympathetic nervous system is turned on. So your sympathetic is your fight, flight, or freeze response. Your parasympathetic is the other one. It's the rest and digest. And there's two layers to this parasympathetic. The one is the rest, digest. That's your sleepy, calm, relaxed behavior where your digestion and everything is working, your body is healing. And there's another side. There's the ventral vagal nerve, as we call it, which activates the social engagement system. And that means we become socially engaged with other people. We have good social skills. Right now, I'm looking at you, I'm smiling, I'm nodding my head, or I'm tilting my head. Those are all social engagement signals that I'm sending you, that I'm friendly, that I'm feeling calm, that I'm feeling happy. And your nervous system responds to those. Your nervous system responds to looking at my facial signals, even if it's all subconscious. It's looking at my facial signals, the way I'm moving my hands, the way I'm moving my body, and it's talking to your nervous system saying, I feel safe, I feel happy, I feel calm, and I want to engage with this person. I feel safe to engage with this person. And that is what we call the social engagement system. So very often I believe that these calming signals that the dogs are doing are in fact turning on that social engagement system. So it is being, it may look appeasing sometimes, but it also is softening their communication in order to activate the other person or the other dog's social engagement system. So they're saying, just like I'm doing now, tilting my head and smiling, dogs don't have that smile, but they may have a gentle ears back. They may blink in a sweet way. And some actually do have that appeasing smile. Some dogs do that sort of appeasing grin. And I believe it's for twofold. I believe it's to activate in the other person or the other dog their social engagement system, which is that green zone in the parasympathetic nervous system where we really want to encourage our dogs and ourselves to be more often. And the other thing is that it puts the brake. Okay, so when we're in the social engagement system, it puts the brake on the stress response. It puts a brake on the fight, flight, freeze response. Okay, that's one of the key things about the vagal, what we call vagal tone. The stronger you get your vagal tone muscle, your social engagement muscle going, the easier it is to put a brake on your stress response. When you feel anxiety rising, you can actually put the brake on that by activating your social engagement system. And this is what I believe dogs are doing too. I believe that sometimes they move into a situation where they're feeling a little bit stressful. And when they're doing those signals, whether it's a blink, a lip lick, a head turn, a yawn, all of those signals, I believe that they're actually unconsciously turning on that vagal nerve, turning on that ventral vagal nerve and putting a brake on their stress system. So for me, this is a vital opportunity for us. If we know that our dogs are moving into a stressed state and they have the ability to use these signals and turn on the ventral vagal and turn off the stress response, that is self-regulation, right? That is self-regulation. So I believe that these signals are not just communication, but they're actually a way of self-regulating as well. And I believe that we really need to therefore encourage our dogs to use their own innate ability to self-regulate. If we look at some of the human exercises that are promoted to helping vagal tone, we must remember that all the nerves, there's a nerve that goes, a branch of the vagal nerve, particularly the social engagement system, that goes to all the muscles in our face. It goes to our ears, it goes to our mouth, it goes under our eyes and in our foreheads. All these muscles that I'm using on my face are connected to that vagal nerve. All right. And so many of the exercises we do in the human field to activate our social engagement system and activate the vagal nerve, the positive part of the vagal nerve, is by doing facial exercises, by yawning, by turning our heads, by moving our eyes. We have the same things. We just don't use them perhaps in a way that we could or that we should more often. So for me, this is vital information, people. How can we use this more and help our dogs to use their innate ability to self-regulate? So for me, it's becoming, again, more aware of these calming signals when your dog. So, if you haven't already, go up, read them, contact me if you need further information. Let's really take more note about our dogs, these signals, the calming signals and these social engagement and all this communication that they're sending on such a subtle level all the time. Because I do believe that if we overlook it, if we overlook these minor signals, is when we see the big signals, is when we see the barking, lunging, growling, all that kind of thing, which are then the dog then has moved into the sympathetic, has moved into that fight-flight response. And once they are in that fight-flight response, the other response, which I'm talking about, the social engagement, is turned off, right? So we want to try and help our dogs before they get into that activated state. We want to help them to be able to self-regulate before they move into that. So as they're starting to feel that anxiety rise, just like we've talked about in the Calm Connection workshop, when you feel that anxiety starting to rise, you recognize it in your body and you start your breathing or your grounded walking, or bringing yourself into the present by using your senses. All of those things that we've talked about in the workshop are doing exactly that. They almost, we could say, like calming signals. We've realized the stress response is about to kick in or has started kicking in, and we can put the brake on it by calming our bodies, calming our breathing, by doing some of the exercises that we're learning. And I think it's exactly the same for our dogs. So our dogs can also learn to calm themselves when they feel that stress rising by using these calming signals. So again, how can we encourage our dogs to use these more often? First of all, recognizing in what situations our dog does them. So we know that they're starting to feel uncomfortable. And secondly, by reciprocating. So if we see a dog showing a calming signal, understand that they are saying, this situation is quite difficult for me. I need more space. I need to move away. I need more time to process. I need to perhaps sit here or stand here and look from a distance, take in the information that will help me to feel more calm about this situation. Perhaps in that moment, they need to just also take a breath, yawn, stretch, do some of these calming signals that will activate their social engagement. And then you can be that cooperative partner in that situation for them by then activating your social engagement system. So smiling, it's okay, we've got this, we're all right, now your dog can also co-regulate with your nervous system as well. So there's so much good in there. And I think it's really so exciting because there's, we have, for so long, we've been looking at the behavior that comes at the end and stopping that behavior. But, if we are more proactive about it and use our natural abilities and our dog's natural abilities to put the brake on before it happens and self-regulate. So self-regulate means, be aware of that emotion and be able to down-regulate it if necessary, so that we don't, always go into the huge fight or flight state. Is just, I think it's exciting. I think we have such abilities that we need to tap into and use more on a wider scale. So I hope that was a little bit helpful. I hope that you will go out and be more observant about your dog's body language, and in particular their calming signals. Allow your dogs to use these. Mirror them back to your dog. So when your dog does something like a head turn or a lip lick or a yawn or a sigh, do the same. Do the same, because they understand that, they get that. That's their language. So do the same back to them, because then they're realizing, she understands me, she gets me, and this communication works. Because if communication doesn't work for somebody, they're not going to use it. But if they see that it has a result, that their communication has a result about avoiding a situation or helping the other person to see that they need more time, more space, they're feeling more stressed, and you do that, you give them that time and space, it's for them, it's very rewarding, because they feel, wow, that communication worked. I feel heard. I feel understood. And that's a very, very powerful feeling for any being, to feel heard and understood. And as I said, on top of that, it's helping them to self-regulate, which is, for me, vitally important. So thank you for listening. Thank you for coming on. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments around this. It's an exciting topic, and I'm going to hope to take it a little bit further and a little bit deeper about how we can really use this more with our dogs. Be able to communicate with them at their level that they understand, and at the same time, it's going to help us and our relationship and our sensitive dogs to feel safer in this world, specifically with us at their side. So thank you for listening, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing those of you, our Zen seekers, in the workshop. I'll see you on Thursday again. Otherwise, we'll chat in the group, in our private group. And for the rest of you, hope to see you soon. I haven't been doing many newsletters and articles lately because I'm really busy with the groups, but I hope to get back on track to that soon as well. So have a lovely day, everyone. Enjoy, and go and give your dogs a good cuddle. Bye for now.